Alright, in this video, let's talk about what it takes to be a beginner and the benefit of having the beginner mindset. Now, say it this way, most of us want to be seen as experts. So, what we do is we rather just pick one field in our life, just go deep in that field of life, and that's it. So that we kind of believe this is where our respect will come from, our identity will come from. But with the beginner mind, you approach everything as I don't know right now, but very soon, very, very soon, I'll have everything that I need to know what it takes basically to move around this area. And it's more like you're a generalist. Now, the benefit of this is it can I'll say it can speed run your confidence boosted because you are aware that confidence is actually directly linked to competence, right? And then knowing fully well that you have been a beginner at several things several times, you have this strong belief in yourself that, oh, I've been here before, I have seen this, I'm a beginner now, but very soon I won't be a beginner anymore. It's the same thing in life. So you know that competence is just done by practice, practice, practice. And the more you flex these beginner muscles, the easier it is for you. So if you're somebody who is probably trying to get girls, start a business, start a new career, this beginner mindset will allow you to actually get it done easier. And then another benefit of having the beginner mind also is the flexibility. We all hear this whole chaos of AI taking over, artificial intelligence taking over, VC firms are going crazy, tech startups are going crazy. But with the beginner mind, you know that whatever happens, you are prepared. Or what is better of you are prepared on how to get prepared for the next big thing. So you're not bothered. You are really, really not bothered. You kind of realize, if you realize, if you take a step back from most of these great guys we see out there, I think I would like to use Michael Jordan as an example. He approached every position he played at with the beginner mindset. On the beginner mindset, he was able to play above average in every aspect of the game. Now, that was one major reason he was able to know how the game works. And then if we're playing the current game, wherever he finds himself, he knows how to try to say supplement that area, how to make that area as good as it can be. That is what took him to the greatest of all times. As compared to people who want to be the best as point guard, who want to be the best at I think shooting guard or something. Forgive me, I'm not too familiar with basketball. So then, if you look at the people who quote unquote are the experts, are the big boys, if you kind of look at them very well, they really do not know much outside their space. And all of this trying to look so good stems from the idea of wanting to look. So it's more of an egotistic thing. Because me telling you to be a beginner, or rather to have the beginner mindset, is not me telling you not to not have expertise in anything. You hear this a lot. Sometimes you hear them, they call them T-shaped people. What that means is they have expertise in one area of life, but yet they kind of like understand some things at a very broad part of life. So, and you can only achieve this if you approach life with a beginner mindset. That you don't know now, but you're pretty sure that if you apply this mindset again and again, you would know. And in my personal life, yes, I'm 6 feet tall. I'm dark skinned. I'm a little bit built. People find it difficult. Like especially people who I meet now to say I find it difficult in the last maybe before 2 years to struggle to talk to women. It was not really a struggle to be precise. It's a struggle. It was a struggle mixed with laziness, quite alright. But I'll call it a struggle regardless. But my guys are talking about much on girls. They make it sound like, oh, he's so good at it. Oh, he's so tall, he's so attractive. But looking back at it, these were not the stories that I was telling myself in my head. But knowing fully well that I have been a beginner at a lot of things, software development, working out, swimming, and I'm not afraid to talk about it. Talking to girls, networking. I think now I'm currently trying to be a beginner. I'm currently a beginner at, I would say, fashion, but I'm looking for a fashion that kind of blends in. I digress. So, like I said, then I was talking about the beginner muscle, and it gets better the more you use it. Now, another caution is the beginner mindset might lead to what is called imposter syndrome. But don't be afraid. Like I said, have expertise in something one or two things, but always adopt the beginner mindset. And I think there's a book on Zen Buddhism, I think by Suzuki. I really have not read the full book. I think that will most likely be my next book. And then he drops insight on why you should actually have a beginner mindset. Because in the mind of a beginner, there are unlimited possibilities. Like a lot of things can be done. And you must see this in children where you ask a child, what can you use a pen to do? And his imagination runs wild. But when you tell an adult, what can you use a pen to do? He's probably going to tell you to write. He's going to tell you, he's most likely going to be talking. Maximum three things because his imagination has shrunk. He believes he's an expert because he has always used pens to write. Maybe fashion. And most likely something else, but he's probably not going to go beyond five. But yet, he's smarter than the child. You see, I read this thing somewhere that imagination is better than knowledge. Because what you know is valid, but it's valid given a set of variables are in place. And guess what? If one variable changes, your knowledge is almost invalidated. Now, when all the variables have changed, your knowledge has definitely become less validated. Let me give you an instance in the business world. I would know what to call the brand names. This particular brand all over the world. It's known for making their foods come out fast at the fastest time. But guess what? Some executives realize that they are kind of losing markets and the customers' needs have shifted from food that's made fast to healthy food that is made fast. And one variable there changed. The variable is called health consciousness. You see, all over the world, there has been this rise of health consciousness where people have lost loved ones, elderly ones, younger ones, kids to certain illnesses, and all these illnesses have been linked back to lifestyle choices, most likely around the food industry. So they took their food to be very, very serious. So the executives realized this and then they approached it with a beginner mind. And also with a beginner mind, remember when I said there are a lot of opportunities in the beginner mind. Also, you get to see that with this same beginner mind, you can basically bring ideas in different sectors together or different fields of life together and produce great work. I mean, if you look at it, look at how many industries Elon Musk is playing in. Yes, he's very smart, but at least he has learned a lot about a lot of things. So he's able to bring ideas together. He's able to look at things and ask, how can we make this better how can we make this different? And I would always say, and I'm sorry to bring this Steve Jobs. There is a clip of the employees of Apple talking to Steve Jobs. This employee asked Steve Jobs what his talent was. That he doesn't know how to code, he doesn't know how to build software, how to design the products. And Steve Jobs gave an interesting answer. An answer that till this day I find it very interesting while I run my startup. And his response was, you see, the customers don't really buy your thing because of the code in it. I'm not giving you his direct response. I'm giving you an explanation. They don't buy it because of the design. They buy it because of the outcome they get, what they get. And he used a printing machine, and he says that they don't care what happens in the printer. They care that they can have their ideas printed. So he gave a story and he narrated how their printer worked, and he wowed the customers. So it made me realize that one, customers are much more bothered about what your product does for them. So it's better for you to sell them the dream of what can get done, not the specifics, because they do not care. Just what happens to the customer they care about. And that's because, despite the fact he has met people with MBAs, people with people with MBAs, people with master degrees in marketing, people with master degrees in software development. But hold on, he was able to bring the little bits apart and constantly ask himself. Obviously, he gained experience. What is this in the marketplace? And he discovered that the customers, at the end of the day, would always care for what he needs for them. And that is why he has built such product. And if you notice, his phrase, stay hungry, stay foolish, that is a beginner's mantra. Forgive me for my voice. I've been having some issues with my throat lately, so but then again I'm on a streak to like show you guys the real things of life. The beautiful things of life. So that's it. Kindly share my video with somebody who will need it, and it's sharing and referrals like this that get my movement to become better, to become stronger. And the movement is simple. The world right now looks like it's in a very funny state. And we need men who are disciplined, men who are charismatic, funny and everything, who are well rounded. I call them the full stack men. And you can only be full stack if you approach everything in life that you're not aware of with the beginner mindset. So that's it. Thank you very much for tuning in. Talk to you soon, and bye for now.